أهلا بكم مشاهدينا، أنا كورين فرحات أرحب بكم وحوار أجريته مع لارا حلبي صاحبة فلوفي توتس أبرز محلات الحلويات في الولايات المتحدة. لارا التي هاجرت مع عائلتها جراء الحرب اللبنانية لجأت إلى صناعة الحلويات هروباً من متطلبات حياتها العملية في مركز لمساعدة نساء مضطربات نفسياً. بدأت عن طريق الهواية لتترك عملها وتخوض هذا المعترك جدياً. مسيرة حلبي تكللت بالعديد من النجاحات، وهي نجاحات بنتها على أساسين ثابتين. الأول هو موهبتها، أما الثاني فيتمثل بعشقها للفنون لتصنع من قوالب الحلوى لوحات فنية جميلة، وبينهما تكتب قصة امرأة تملك من الإرادة ما مكنها من النجاح ومنافسة أبرز صناع الحلويات في الولايات المتحدة.
The key to success is just having that passion and definitely following your dreams and just have that passion and motivation to keep going. I've always loved baking and I love art, so doing this, it just incorporates like art and food together, which is the best of both worlds. My name is Lada Halabi and I'm from Lebanon and I'm the owner of Fluffy Thoughts Cakes in McLean, Virginia. I was born in Lebanon and we moved to the US when I was 10 years old. We moved because of the war in Lebanon and the schooling in America. My parents wanted us to get a better education. Definitely felt very different. My English wasn't very good. I spoke a lot of Arabic and the kids made fun of me because my English was broken. But it took a few years and I learned how to speak with the American dialect and it was fine after that. I went to Marymount University in Arlington and I studied counseling psychology, and then I got my master's as well in counseling psychology. And after I graduated, I worked with Fairfax County and I worked with emotionally disturbed adolescents. So I worked in a home with them for a few years, and at night I would bake, because it was just definitely a stress reliever. But I did eventually do baking school at La Académie de Cuisine in Gaithersburg. I took night classes there because I was still working during the day. They teach pastry and they teach savory, so I did the pastry program. And then I also did classes with cake decorators around the country. I would take classes with them to learn more of the techniques of sugar, flowers, and painting, piping, stuff like that. So I was doing that 3 times a week. And then on top of that, on the weekends, I had orders, so I was doing orders for people, and I was doing all of this out of my apartment. Once I got so many orders that I was staying up all hours of the night, and I was not able to do my job anymore. I was waking up late, getting to work late. It was really hard. And then my father passed away, and after he passed away, it was really hard for me to go back and do help people with their issues when I was really sad and stuff. So I couldn't focus on work anymore, and I felt like I needed to get my help for myself, and that's when I decided to take a break from it because it was just becoming too much. It started with a few friends asking me to make cakes for them, and then eventually it led to more and more and more, and then finally I just couldn't do it in the apartment anymore. It just got too big, and so we started looking for a space, and we opened this space about 7 years ago. Cake making is super competitive around here. There's a lot of amazing, talented people in the area, but everybody has their own share. I mean, it's super important, the interaction between my team and I. We have a meeting and we'll talk about different cakes. So if it's a really important project, we'll all have a meeting and talk about designs and ideas and things that we think should happen and how we should structure it, how we should do it, and everybody pitches in and does it. And teamwork is super important, especially when you have huge projects. We make everything from scratch. We don't use boxes or mixes. We use really high quality ingredients because our main thing is we want people leaving the wedding or an event saying wow, that cake tasted good. They remember the cake. Now the sky's the limit. I mean, you could do anything. We made a cake with a river floating around it. We've made cakes with fire coming out of it, with smoke coming out of it. I mean, anything people come up to us and ask us to do it, I always say yes, and then afterwards we have to figure out how to do it. So, I mean, it's fun, it's fun to push the borders and stuff. Our cakes are definitely labor of love. You know, every egg we break, every cup of sugar we make. I mean, it's just like all that love goes into it. You know, we definitely want it to look good and taste good. The best feeling is when a customer sees the cake and they're super happy with it. You know, just seeing their face, like their look of like happiness, like when they see the cake and when they eat it and they love it. It's just great, like being, you know, like a part of people's like special moments in their life, you know. So the great thing is they remember us and they come back to us, so that just makes us super happy. You know, everybody has their dream and they have their vision of how they want their cake to look, and you know, we work with everybody. Everything we make is custom. You know, we sketch everything during the tasting so they can see and they can have a visual of like what the cake looks like. It's definitely more than a couple of eggs, flour, and sugar. Social media is unbelievable. It's so positive. I mean, I felt like ever since I started Instagram last year, like our sales have doubled. You know, just posting like all the cakes and everything that we do is so visual. So social media helps so much. You can see what the new trends are, you know, and you know, following top designers and just seeing like what everybody's doing, you know, what the new trends are and stuff. I think when we got the call from Food Network was when I felt like we made it, and it was really awesome, like, you know, being on TV and stuff, and that was just like a goal to be on the Food Network Challenge. It's 4 competitors and there's a theme. So our theme was to make a cake that looked like a dog, and each person had a different dog that they had to do. So we did the Food Network Challenge, and we've also been on Cake Wars. Cake Wars is also a competition where you're up against 3 other competitors, and you have to bake the cake live on TV. And we have to make like we did a SpongeBob cake when we went on Cake Wars, and you know, you have to bake it, and the judges have to taste it, and then at the end they choose a winner. And we've also been featured on Cooking Channel, which is a sister of Food Network, and we've been featured on their show Cake Hunters. We've been on that show 3 times, and the show is basically, it's like House Hunters but for cakes, and the bride goes to different locations and tries the cakes, and then she chooses a winner, and then they follow you through the process of like making that cake. And we've been featured on like local news morning shows. You know, we've done like Fox News, CBS, ABC. And another moment I thought, you know, when we made it was we were in Martha Stewart Weddings magazine, and just being in her magazine was so amazing, just opening it, and she chose us as one of the top 63 pastry pros in the United States, which was amazing. So just being listed as that in Martha Stewart magazine is unbelievable. Definitely the most memorable cake I've made was, I mean, my sister's wedding cake, and my dad's birthday cake, like the last cake I made for him. So that was really like important that I made that for him. When he was alive, he told me, he was like, you know, you should go for your passion, you should go for what you want to do. You know, if that's like what you want to do, then go for it, because life is short and you just never know. So being here in the US, it definitely encouraged me to follow my dreams. And definitely my father had a lot to do with it as well. You know, like he encouraged us, and my mom as well. My mom is so supportive. She comes in and she helps, you know, like she'll like help us paint on cakes. You know, growing up, my parents always taught us that, you know, you have to help others like in need whenever you have more than others and stuff, and that's super important to me. So we always find like organizations and foundations that we support, and we make cakes for them. We did a cake for Hope for Henry, which is a really important organization. It's for children at the Children's Hospital who have cancer, and this mom started it because her son had passed away from cancer, and what she does is she'll bring like superheroes and like, you know, princesses and stuff to the hospitals to help support the kids, and they always do like a, you know, like a charity event every year, and we donate the cakes for that, and we also donate to homeless shelters, to, you know, orphanages, and also to the police and fire station like in the area, you know, because they work so hard. Yeah, I mean, coming as an immigrant to the U.S., you know, I definitely do feel like I'm living the American dream. You know, I don't know if these doors would have been open to me if we were anywhere else, you know, and here it's so supportive of like women and, you know, immigrants like opening their businesses, you know, and it's great, you know, it's a wonderful feeling. I do feel like I am breaking stereotypes, you know, like it used to be more of like a man's world, the baking world, and now like, you know, women run it, I think, you know, so I definitely do think, and definitely being like an Arab American, we can definitely do it, and women are strong, and, you know, and they can definitely go out there and do their dream. I mean, my message is just go for it. You know, if you want to do something, you need to go for it. Even if it seems scary, just jump in there and do it. You know, you live once, you know. It just means that, you know, we're making, you know, people happier and, you know, just living our dream, living my dream it's just happier. You know, I'm just happy that, you know, I've made it and I've succeeded doing this.
مشاهدينا أشكركم للمتابعة. أنا كورين فرحات أودعكم. راسلوني على إيميل البرنامج المجلة@الحرة.com وتابعونا على صفحة البرنامج المجلة شو على الفيسبوك، وبلاقيكم الأسبوع المقبل بنفس الموعد.